Maayong adlaw, mga mahimsog nga magsusunod. Oras na para maglingaw-lingaw ta. In last week's video, I pulled out
the 10 of Pentacles, meaning money consignment. Stay tuned to what project's coming up. Now,
for fun and daily inspiration tarot readings, giving you a clue of where and how to start your day, it is tarot reading time. My card for this week is
the 3 of Pentacles, meaning improvements but delays on the way. Well, that I'm not quite sure. We'll just have to wait and see how my future unfolds.
We live to learn. We live to prove ourselves. Credentials are markers in our life. We do not move backwards from there. We must move forward. I am not mocking certificate, diploma, or degree holders of their field of expertise. Just do not rely on your credentials to define yourself and to prove yourself, because those credentials are your markers to not go back to the same mistakes of the past times of your life.
My credentials began as a baby model for Johnson's, and I grew up with Barbie, where with your imagination, life is your creation, which is something my mom instilled in me growing up. So I invested a lot of my time into different skills, not only with books and art, but also in sports. I was a kid who had ADHD, so sports was a great way for me to exert all of my energy and frustrations. These were some awards that recognized punctuality, respect, and being able to work with your peers. I had the opportunity of going to Japan with my aunt and skiing, seeing snow for the first time was such a fun experience that I listened so attentively and I ended up winning a few competitions. Then back in the Philippines, my mom would have my brother and I spend summers connecting to the community to do community building, because she always emphasized how we are more than just an individual. We must think of more than just ourselves. We have to be responsible with how our actions play towards our surroundings. I was an artist growing up. I competed in a lot of art competitions, and here are some other awards that I earned where each point contributes to your house. So I was in the House of Acacia when I was in school. Think of it as like the Hogwarts houses. Then I got into swimming relays, and then I competed in the school mini Olympics where there was running, cycling, hockey, badminton, football, lacrosse, lots of fun. Rock climbing, this was from between 7 to about 14 years old, locally and national competitions. It stuck to me throughout my whole elementary life. It was a big passion and I had a lot of strength with my upper body. Art was a fun way for me to express my creative self. And in 5th grade, I was recognized for the Mega Award because I was just extra expressive, grandiose, and I wasn't afraid to share my opinion. Charity projects continued throughout my growth. My grandfather pioneered scuba diving in Cebu, so I followed in his footsteps thanks to my aunt. I became a junior open water diver when I was 12, and I had my first photo shoot that I can actually remember when I was 12 years old. I got involved with badminton and the school musicals, my first fashion show for Orochina jewelry. That was with my mom, and then I was recognized by other designers for other fashion shows. This was now the kickstart of my part-time modeling career. By the time I finished middle school, I got into high school and I got into football. And then when football season ended, I got into volleyball. I really like sports, so from rock climbing I moved into varsity team sports, and I learned there how to become a team player, learn how to manage people, learn how to work with my peers properly, and be patient. I still managed to find time to be in the school musicals and model on the side. Then I got into more football, not only locally, but now nationally. We were flown to Subic and Manila to compete in football. And I really liked that sport for that particular time in my life in 9th grade. By the time I turned around 15 or 16, that is where I further pursued my diving license into advanced open water, and I even gave paddleboarding a try. When school resumed, I got into the musicals and I got casted for leading roles once again. Then I decided to try out basketball. I ended up earning MVP in this school year. Fell in love with basketball. Now, as a junior in high school, I'm 1 year away from graduating, I still found time to devote myself to the community and sharing my skills to help build other individuals to help improve their lives. And I still managed to find time to do some modeling, which helped me earn a little bit on the side. And modeling has been my bread and butter ever since. Thanks to modeling, it opened up opportunities for me to get into performance outside of school. And then I was still very active in art. Here are some of my artworks that were featured at one of the big malls here in Cebu. This one was inspired by Maori Tomoko, like the Pintados Batik. And I was still modeling on the side while I was in high school, so this was work for me. And then I still had to learn the scripts, learn the dance moves, the singing and musical arrangement of the school musicals. And playing as Miss Hannigan for Annie was my favorite. Then on my senior year of high school, kick off the school year with a billboard, my mom and I ended up endorsing Aura Galleria Fine Jewelry. On my senior year, I ended up co-hosting for a television channel with a local musician and DJ. It led to opportunities for me to work in media, and I ended up hosting for documentary shows and hosting music festivals, got to express my artistic side. Then I started earning from other corporate events, and I became the first female barker at one of the biggest clubs here in Cebu. And modeling still managed to maintain. By the time I finished high school, a lot of my classmates were looking towards pursuing further studies. I, on the other hand, was thinking about, how do I further my career? I already have this built for myself. What is there for me next? So after I graduated high school in May with honors in theory of knowledge, which my mom was so proud of because I was the only graduating senior that had honors from a single parent home, I thought, how do I improve my life? How do I make something better for myself? So I took some time in nature, and then I accepted an offer to work on radio as a radio disc jockey for a local station. And I did this until I decided to take a risk and I joined my first beauty pageant. And when I found out I made it as one of the 12 finalists, my grandfather passed away on the same day. I use this as a motivation to work hard because I am continuing the legacy of my family. I'm carrying their name. And when I earned the title of Miss Cebu 2016, that was the first time I felt so close to my mother's side of the family. Joining Miss Cebu, one of the motivations for me was that I wanted to realize my advocacy, which was to create avenues where the youth can come together to play, to learn, and when necessary, seek guidance. Slowly throughout my reign, I tried to realize my advocacy. And this is where Reign's reign begins. I shared my advocacy throughout media, and I got involved with becoming a tour guide, which was skills that were taught to us when we competed in Miss Cebu. And I used my personal skills in performance. I guest spoke and I gave lectures to students at universities and elementaries and high schools. And I played an active role in trying to impact the lives of my peers. I was only 18 when I joined Miss Cebu, and I was 19 just before the coronation. I decided to get my CPR certificate just in case, and I still managed to find time for myself with things that help me keep my mind at peace. And then performances came in when I had to coach the Pasundayag for the street kids. I shared my musical abilities. After that, I had a lot of fashion shows throughout my reign. Photo shoots, fashion shows, and I got involved with Create Cebu. Create Cebu is a group that creates opportunities for artistic individuals to express themselves, and I got involved with that. I even got to share some of my personal compositions. Then a national magazine decided to feature me as the front cover. Later, I was assigned the role of manager for my aunt's farm. I then pursued my certification in natural farming in Davao City. Sometimes ABS-CBN would feature me not only for things related to beauty and fitness, but also for food. I got involved with the Book Swap Cebu team. This is where my love for literature came to play. And I got involved with some foundations to help uplift the kids, where I shared not only art and performance, but also physical activity and the value of being active. I helped share some of my ideas and inspiring and feeding kids from poverty-stricken areas of Cebu. At some point in the summer, I decided to pursue a culinary cooking course where I wanted to help improve my knowledge so that I can equip myself with the skills for nutritional food that I can share to other individuals. I received my cooking certification in Thailand. Fortunately, I was able to utilize my knowledge at the reopening of the Cebu Farmers Market, where I used papayas from my aunt's farm. I was then invited to read to children who had disabilities like Down syndrome and Asperger's. And these kids impacted my life. They helped inspire me more. It motivated me to pursue trying to realize my advocacy more. Because of the sincerity that I felt from these kids, it's so special. And that's where I decided to get more into speaking to children, more into community development. But sometimes I still had to earn a little bit to support myself, so I would still have to host events and do modeling engagements, but that didn't hinder me from also sharing what I know, which is etiquette and social gracing, which started very young, where you saw my awards from earlier. I was invited to conduct my first TED Talk. I was only 19 years old, and I talked about passion. Where does it derive from? How do you maintain it? How do you stay passionate? How do you ignite your flame? I then pursued healing with Reiki, and I supported the Book Swap Cebu team. I was then invited to share my skills in helping maintain the environment in realistic and practical ways. And I helped uplift girls who were rescued from physical and sexual abuse. And then on my 20th birthday, I decided to share my birthday with people who are less fortunate than I am, where they suffered from a fire in their area and a lot of people lost their homes. I fed over 400 people on my 20th birthday. And as my reign came to an end, it didn't seem to, because I've ended up becoming the last reigning Miss Cebu. So my reign continued. And I decided to continue further developing myself. I then decided to pursue a yoga teacher training for Ashtanga yoga and for restorative yoga, which are for people who have suffered from cancer or strokes. It's a little bit more relaxing for their kind. And I would be invited to guest speak to uplift women, not only girls, but women, professionals, and part of the LGUs. And I earned on the side from my modeling. I'd be invited time to time again to read and to uplift the youth. And I still found time to positively impact our environment and manage recycling, be in nature, which the MCWD also recognized and invited me to talk about how to save our environment to the youth, to college students. I may not have attended university yet, but I'm educating people who are in university. It's such an honor. The youth is the future of every society. And based on what I have observed throughout my experiences, sometimes the kids can fall into unpleasant influences from the streets. And that's where I realize I must do something in my own way to positively impact the community. And so without these individuals, my sponsors, I wouldn't have been able to start my own charity project. So thank you very much to my sponsors for believing in my skills, for your support, because without these individuals, my Artemis Strength for Saving Youth and Boys Ultimate Test to Strength charity project would not exist. My charity project is dedicated to uplifting the youth through weightlifting. Because weightlifting is a sport that I believe helps develop a child's discipline, it helps keep them focused, and it teaches them how to commit to things. When I invited Hidalyn Diaz to the event, I was so ecstatic, and all of the kids were so excited that a silver medalist from the Rio Olympics came to support. I cannot express how grateful I am for her support, for the Cebu Weightlifting Association to attend, and for all of my different sponsors who came to support my project. Because somehow, this got the ball rolling into helping impact other people's lives in a positive way. Do not have your health underlooked. Health should be your priority, because you cannot work unless you are healthy. and this was recognized by individuals of our community. I was invited for my second TED Talk, where the theme was legacy. So I talked a little bit about the legacy I came from with my family and the legacy that I am building for my community. Then I was invited by local news stations to talk a little bit about myself. And then I conducted more workshops about health and wellness. And my charity project may have started in October, but I conduct charity events once every month. Other corporate events started to recognize my activism for health. And then I became a columnist for a national magazine. I conducted workshops at universities. And this was actually taken a day after my birthday, where I conducted a workshop with them. And I celebrated my 21st birthday with my December charity event, teaching strength and flexibility to the youth. It's a new year, and I'm still teaching, but this time about etiquette and ethics to over 2,000 students at one of the most prestigious schools in Cebu. In January, I decided to sponsor 2 kids for their weightlifting training. They come in on a weekly basis, and they continue to come in to train, and now they demonstrate during my charity events. I still get invited to conduct character, personality development, and etiquette workshops and lectures.
Okay or not? So as women, we need to value ourselves. And that's where femininity comes into play. See, etiquette would not exist without ethics.
And I conduct my charity events every single month. I was invited yet again by the MCWD for the United Nations World Water Day, where I talked about environmentalism and how people can be proactive in their own way to positively impact the environment. Then Golden Prince Hotel got involved with my charity project, and I'm so grateful for their support. They even utilized my skills as a voiceover artist to record some of their hotel jingles. Shawarma Gourmet even got involved, and I conduct workshops at their establishment. Private companies notice that I am an influencer in my own way for the community, and I am just so grateful with how the community has responded and how people trust me to conduct workshops and share my knowledge. The faces in these particular images are blurred to protect the identity of women who have been rescued from sexual trafficking. I am grateful that my benefactors trust me and that I continue to positively impact their lives, to boost their morale, to build their confidence, and to build strength. My charity project is still ongoing until July 2018. You're probably wondering, how do I possibly provide for my project? How has it managed to last 8 months? That's where I decided to start my own beauty and fitness consultancy business. Every single day, I practice and I train. I develop myself and I hone my talents and skills. Because I believe that in life, you don't just stop there. You don't stay in comfort. You have to work, you have to practice, and you have to constantly learn to survive. No one's gonna hand over something to you in life. You have to step up and work for it. You have to have the courage, be kind, and have the patience in the journey. And from the training program that you have, you'll be able to apply it outside of the gym. Here I am focused, committed to what I am doing, and it is thanks to my training program I am able to balance my bipolar disorder to be a functional human being to society. If you need a coach to help realize your fantasies and make dreams into reality, I can be the coach to help you get fit, be healthy, and live happy. If you want to improve yourself, you need to start now. Don't wait. Based on my experiences, I have had a lifetime worth of experiences that help shape me to be a responsible citizen. And it is through strength training I am able to stay on track. And I share this with the youth because I believe that it is my obligation as an adult to create avenues where the youth can come together to play, to learn, to feel safe, to be nurtured, and when necessary, seek guidance. If you need a coach, whatever age you may be, you can never be too old, too young, too fat, too short, too tall to do anything. Do not limit yourself. Do not listen to the negative rumors and words of other people. Do not let them get to you because you are the creator of your story. Use your imagination and your world is your creation. Realize your fantasies and make dreams into reality with me through Babby Boons Beauty and Fitness Consultancy.
In my case, currently, I cannot afford going to university in virtues of time and responsibilities. What will happen to my business that supports my charity project? My charity is what motivates me to grow, to learn, and constantly improve myself. It is true that I have family, my mom. That can be part of my motivation. But to be honest, going to university with my mom as just my motivation would not be much, because I would know that she would catch me from behind, and this dependency will not allow me to grow. Once I am stable with where I am now, then I will pursue university, because it is the next step for me to improve. I believe that going to college or any further studies is not a matter of age, but rather when you are ready to be there. Others may be able to go to college before their career starts, but that's not my case. Fortunately for me, my mother started my career when I was an infant, and I don't want my career to end. That's why I am working now for my business and stabilizing my career. Then I will study in university once my career is stable. This will be my next step to self-improvement. With my project, the kids of my charity depends on my performance, my output, and everything I do, because they set me as their example. Even their parents trust me, and this sets me forward. I even managed to go through the most annoying procedure of business permits. This you will see in another video. But I am motivated to do so for the kids of my project.